Welcome to another live stream watch along reaction. Tonight we're watching and reacting to O&M FC versus Moca FC in the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup 2025 Group A. Match day 4 of 5. If O&M FC wins, they will advance out of the group with Mount Pleasant. And next week's game between them is for the group win. And they might even be topping the group, depending on how much they win this game by, if they do win. A draw is still favorable for O&M. Moca would be eliminated with anything but a win, mathematically. But Central's already eliminated. We know that. They lost to Mount Pleasant. They played 4 games. Robin Hood's already eliminated. The question is, how does O&M handle if they do not win? O&M FC contra Moca FC, la Copa Caribe de la CONCACAF Grupo A, jornada 4. O&M avanzar de la ganador, de la ganar y probable y empate. Moca survive de la ganar de la Moca. Yeah, we'll go with it. With that being said, we will begin very soon. They're playing at Estadio Sabal tonight as well. That's hilarious. Starting 11s are as follows. How we doing, Lewis? How we doing? Starting 11s are as follows. In goal, Gilbensu. The back 3 of De La Rosa, Mello, and Olagasti for O&M. The midfield 2 for Gomez, Cuello, John Trincado, Matos, and the front 3 of Baez, Harold, Francetti, and Yulin Mantarola. For Moca FC, in goal we have Ramirez, the back 3 of De Pena, Francisco, Canavesio, the midfield 5 of Duran, Puga, Parima, Jimenez, De Jesus, and the front 2 of Para and Gustavo Ascona. If O&M wins here, no matter what happens, we know our top 2. We just don't know the order. I'm doing good. They never had a good one. Maybe 2020. You know what? We'll give it 2020. 2019 and 2020. Oh, you got to be kidding me. And the Yankees are leading. Okay. Blue Jays only have 2 hits through 3. Maybe 2021. Yeah, the Blue Jays need to come back and just win. The Blue Jays are cooked. The Jays might be cooked. I don't know what to tell you. Teams will walk out soon. Here we go. Teams are walking out. Here we go. O&M wearing their blue and white. Moca wearing yellow and black. All right. At least only 3-0. But teams have walked out. We're ready to go. Well, we're about ready to go. Teams have walked out. They're shaking hands. They'll show the starting 11s, and we'll get going when it comes to this match. Very likely could be where O&M clinches a semifinal spot here. If they draw, they probably did. If they win, they have. Gelbensu, De La Rosa, Matos, Ola Sagasti, Melo, Trincado, Baez, Cuello, Francetti, Monterola, Gomez for O&M. They're starting 11. All right. Adrian Lage from Cuba is the center ref tonight. Moca is playing for a small possibility of advancement. A small possibility of advancement. But they have to win to do that. If they draw, they're eliminated. Moca. If they lose, they're eliminated. They have to win. A Moca start 11 of Ramirez, Canavesio, Puga, Duran, Parima, Francisco, De Jesus, Jimenez, De Peña, Gustavo Ascona, and Para. This is a Dominican derby in the Caribbean Cup. Mm-hmm. O&M wins or draws. They win, they're through. They draw, they're very, well. Actually, if they draw, they're through too. Yeah, actually, if I'm correct, yeah. Because all Moca could get is 6 points. O&M would have 7. So even then, A draw for Moca eliminates, or a draw for O&M eliminates Moca and advances O&M. A win advances them and basically says O&M versus Mount Pleasant for first place next week, which arguably, even if it's 7 versus 9, it could still be for first place, but then O&M would have to win in that case. Do that what you will. And we're about to begin the second of 3 days this midweek of Caribbean Cup. We're about to begin. Moca has to win to stay alive. And we begin. We're off. O&M kicks off. A perfect record so far, 2 wins. When it comes to this round, got it. All right. Of CONCACAF, they've had 2 wins. Can they build up to 3 or even 1 draw? Moca, who's been in the knockouts before for the past 2 years, a 3rd place winner in 2023, a 3rd place loser to Ral Hope in 2024. They've made the Champions Cup once out of the Caribbean Cup, and they will not this year. Playing forward. Playing forward. Two minutes in, 0-0, settle. $2:02. Three minutes in. How we doing, son? How we doing? 0-0. Settle. If I look sad tonight, it's the Blue Jays are choking again, and the Yankees are winning again. Is that a home run? In play outs. Are you kidding me? To the freaking warning track, and it's an out. We can't freaking buy a hit right now. Yeah, we suck, but we also can't buy a hit. That matters a lot. 3-10. At least only a 3-0 deficit with 6 innings to play with. Playing forward. playing forward. Throw in. I mean, they're both Dominican teams, so they just had to meet a central spot, I guess. But maybe O&M Stadium's not truly good enough, unlike Moca's. Because if Moca was hosting this game, maybe it'd be a Moca. And Vladdy just hit and out. Awesome. 2 outs. Kirk out. That was a quick 3 outs. Trash. 5 minutes in. 0-0. Six minutes in. Are Moca out completely? If they don't win, they are. A draw for O&M would have them advance and eliminate Moca. Robin Hood's already eliminated. Central's eliminated because they can't reach the points that O&M have, and they've already played 4 games. So O&M, as long as they hold this draw, they advance. They win, they advance. They lose, Moca has a chance to stay alive. Just O&M would have to lose to Mount Pleasant by either an ass kicking, or Moca would have to beat Robin Hood by a shit kicking. They have to beat them, but it has to be a big win. And also O&M has to get their shit kicked as well by Mount Pleasant. Seven minutes in. Maybe either his backup will show up or maybe he shows up, but he showed up every so often, whether it be his backup or not. Playing forward. Oh, hell no. And Masataka Yoshida hit a home run. 4-0 Red Sox. Man, we suck. Over the bar. Yeah, we kind of did predict it. Corner for O&M. Well, the Blue Jays are going to lose the division and they're going to choke in the wild card again. Player down hurt for O&M, 9th minute. Honestly, the record that Moca has with the history they have, yeah, they are shameful. I agree. They are shameful. Nine minutes in. Fair enough. Over the top. Moca, offside there. 10 minutes in. Sometimes he shows up with his backup. I don't know what's... Sometimes people don't show... Sometimes can't be on every stream. I don't know what's going on. Playing forward. Cleared away. Probably. 11 minutes in. Yankees are winning 5-1 against the White Sox. The Blue Jays are losing 4-0 to the Red Sox. The division will be tied at the end of the night tonight if the Blue Jays don't come back and win, or somehow the White Sox don't come back and beat the Yankees. More likely the Jays come back. And free kick for O&M, or when America loses. Yeah. 13 minutes. Well. That's how I got that. Okay, good. That was a gnat, by the way. 13th minute. 0-0, settle. Fourteenth minute, 0-0. Playing forward, O&M. Here's a chance. And that's a good tackle, but that'll set up a corner. 0-0. Just won by a lucky last-minute goal, too. Yeah. They should have beat Chivas. You mean draw? It's all about the America game. And Santander struck out. This team is trash. Ref give too much time. Ball cross in. That was a horrible cross by O&M. That was... I don't know what the hell they were doing there. Yeah, Crochet going to pitch a damn Maddox at this point. 14th minute, 0-0. Settle was settled. Playing forward is O&M. Oh. And ground out. And a ground out for Davis Schneider. Oh, my God. Well, you're going up against the wall, Toronto. You need to at least win 3 of your last 4 and hope the Yankees lose at least 1. I don't see how that happens. The Blue Jays are about to lose the AL East. Tonight, they're going to be tied. Tomorrow, they have to win a bullpen game or a Barrios start, one or the other, against the Red Sox. They haven't been able to hit in like 7 games, except the one game they clinched the freaking playoff spot. Max Scherzer didn't even really have a bad start tonight. The 4 runs, I mean, the Blue Jays in most of the season would have been able to at least score 4. You know, I'm not even blaming Scherzer tonight. Not like the Royals game. That was, no. I ain't blaming him like I did for the Royals game. That was bad. Playing over the top. How we doing, Dillon? Oh, hey, look, we're actually ahead in the count for once. Come on, Varsho. Like they're going to get any 2-out runs. Oh, hey, Varsho got a hit. Yay. A 2-out single. Wonderful. Playing forward. Free kick. Hey, we got Miles Straw coming up next. Like that's going to do anything for us. Hey, Miles Straw. Miles Straw. Wouldn't it be funny if like we got a couple of runs off the bottom of the lineup with 2 outs? Maybe that would wake somebody up. I don't know. Well, Miles Straw did get a hit earlier tonight. That is true. And he lined out to Alex Bregman on 1 pitch. 17 minutes in, 0-0. Settle. Bunch of losers. Playing forward. But we have another stream tonight after this for Real España versus Plaza Amador. We'll pay attention to the score of the Xelajú sporting game as well. And there you go. And then we'll be back tomorrow for another Caribbean Cup match, Defence Force Weymouth Wales. And then we have Olympia versus Cardenas. Yes. Header. Shot over the bar. Moca is struggling a little bit. Yeah, same here. But Argentinian football's kind of conking out right now. 20th minute. Well, Lanús did get by Fluminense. Well, yeah, but that's Sudamericana. That's different. It's funny. Fluminense made the semifinals of the Club World Cup. They just got outed by Lanús. That is kind of crazy once you think about it, though. Cross in. Missed it. Well, they didn't get anything out of it anyway. 21st minute. You know, I can't even get mad, really. The Blue Jays, Max Scherzer had a damn good start. Well, for his, compared to the Royals one. Respectable. 22nd minute. Frankly, let's not go back to that discussion. Hey, the good news is the way this game is going with the Blue Jays. He flew out. Nice. 2 outs. The way this Blue Jays game is going, it'll be over by even the second game of this night. So there you go. And the way it is, the Blue Jays are going to be tied to AL East by the end of the night. They're choking at the worst time possible. Man, they really do need Bo Bichette. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Unlike Mitch Marner, Bo Bichette, he was basically the Marner of the Blue Jays for me. Turns out, he at least proved that he's very much needed. So this offseason, whether the Jays, if they pop back and win, and this was all, yeah, that was funny. We lost the division, or we barely won the division, but we still, where we choke the division or somehow still win the division, and we actually do some in the playoffs once Bo comes back. Yeah, no, they need to keep him. Unlike Marner, I was wrong about Bo Bichette. I was harsh on him. Very, very harsh on him. Very harsh. Playing forward. Very harsh on him. And the Blue Jays got 3 outs with little. They have 4 innings to play to get 4 runs to somehow avoid the tie and get their magic number down to 3. Man, what if they did, though? What if they finally woke up and just scored 5 runs and came back and won and said, okay, magic number 3. All we have to do is beat the Rays twice or win 2 of our last 4, as long as the Yankees lose 1 to the Orioles, which I feel like that would happen. The White Sox are just horrible. The White Sox are just horrible. The Yankees are not going to lose to the White Sox. Orioles, I think the Orioles could steal 1, maybe 2. I don't have big hopes, but either way. What if the Blue Jays actually came back? IKF, George Springer, and Ernie Clement to start the 6th inning. Can we actually just take some pitches? Stop pressing. That'd be nice. 25th minute, playing forward. And a strike down the middle for IKF. That's not what I meant by take pitches. That's not what I meant by take some pitches. If it's right down the middle, hammer that damn thing. And he took a second strike. Basically down the middle. Ugh. I forgot why I didn't want him on the team in the first place. Ball. Now I remember. Really, Pittsburgh? Really? You couldn't give us Bednar. You had to give us IKF. Struck out swinging. Why you swing that high? You swing at that? Okay, cool. It's 1 out. 26th minute. Sad. Still 0-0. O&M's probably the better team, but Moca, they've had their moments. Of course, they need to win to survive. Yeah. They need to win to survive, but Moca, O&M wins or draws, they advance. And if they win, they're playing for first place next week. Well, even if they draw, they're playing for first place, but they'd have to win. If they win, they might even be in first place at the end of the night. Sounds nice. Only so many people could be happy about that. 2-1 on George Springer. George, savior of the Blue Jays. I got to save that if he gets a hit, a good hit. Okay, yeah, fair enough. If there was ABS, I'd be doing that right now if I was George. Sadly enough, that's next year. Miami 1-0. Well, hey, I guess, well, that Euro snob Daniel went to the game with must be happy, and George Springer flew out. Jesus Christ. I saw Vancouver without a lot of key players. You know what, Rory? If the Blue Jays choke, I hope the Seattle Mariners win the World Series. I don't think we're going far. Who knows if Bo's even going to be the same if he comes back. But who knows if he could even come back for the wild card series. And if we do somehow get past that, or he comes back well enough, who's to say he will? Oh, Lord. This just feels embarrassing. I mean, the Blue Jays did all of this. You know what the worst part about it is? At least in 2023, when the Blue Jays got knocked out by the Twins, it's like they got into the playoffs, but the way they were playing, it was pretty obvious they were going to go and do what they did in Minnesota and just absolutely collapse. The Seattle series, I don't want to talk about it. 2022 was an okay season. Alek Manoah went and collapsed, and Luis Castillo had a really good first game, and then, 8-1 happened. So I don't even want to talk about it. 2021, we really should have made the playoffs, but it was a smaller playoff grouping, and we had more wins than the Atlanta Braves. But the one year we actually probably would have done something with his core, had more wins than the Atlanta Braves, but didn't make the playoffs because of the old playoff format. Awesome, right? And in play outs for Ernie Clement. Let me guess, fly out. Yep, he flew out to Abreu. All right, 3 innings left. At least we're still going to be tied at the end of the night. We ain't losing the division yet. 2024, well, that was just a horrible season for the Blue Jays. And that's a goal for Moca. 1-0. 30 minutes in. They have the lead. They have the lead they've been looking for. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. They might just backdoor their way to second place, but they need a couple more. What a play forward. Blocked by the goalie, right back to the striker. Boom. And Moca leads 0-1. 0-1. Horrible play. Pata scores. Pata scores. Pata scores off the rebound. Why did the goalie just let it kick off his feet? Like, the foot save was one thing, but, you know. Johan Pata with a goal. That was just dumb by O&M. That was just dumb. That was just dumb. Jose Barrios out of the bullpen for Brandon Little. Huh? So Barrios ain't starting tomorrow. Okay. It actually is a bullpen day. Shit. Playing forward. That's going to be tough. Oh, Moca pushing forward. Nice. River Plate scored. Shot! Goal! Oh my God! Golazo! Golazo! Golazo on him! Oh my word! Chicharo! Chicharo! Wow! He's like, I'll do it myself. Chip. Do it myself. Top bins. Chip. Whoa. Lovely. 1-1, 1-1. Now Moca. Now O&M will advance and eliminate Moca if they hold. Isaac Baez Chicharo scores. 33rd minute. Wow. What a shot, man. That was beautiful. I'm sure they do. 1-0 over Palmeiras, 2-2 on aggregate. Would they be advancing? Looks to me they're at home. So does that mean away goals may make them advance or they take those away? Just a question. Because I'm unsure because at all these tournaments taking away goals and all that shit. Barrios got 2 outs. Yankees are still up 5-1. Top of the 5th. White Sox, you better score a couple of runs. That'd be hilarious. 34th minute. Yoshida versus Barrios. Yoshida has hit a home run, 2 double and 2 RBI. from Masataka Yoshida. He's only good against the Blue Jays for some reason. He'll hit another home run just because. He actually grounded out. Cool. So the Blue Jays are 3 innings away. They have 9 outs to play with to score 5 runs. And if not, they will be tied at the end of the night with the New York Yankees. And the Blue Jays will have to at least win 3 of their last 4, if not all 4, to win the division, depending on what happens. The Mets got Nigeria, Colombia to play a November friendly at a World Cup preparation game at City. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, I mean, they did do a soccer night at City, so. "35th minute, 1-1. Vladdy, Kirk, and Santander, the next inning for the Blue Jays. They got to get some going now. They have to get some going now. It's only a 4-run deficit. The Blue Jays win this game. Their magic number's 3. They still lead the division. And they still have to win 3 out of 4 probably, or at least 2 out of 4. If the Orioles win 1. I think the Orioles will win 1 when the Orioles series when the Yankees play the Orioles, I think the Orioles will win 1. So the Blue Jays have to win 2. If they win tonight, they'd have to win 2 more. Well, with the magic number being 3, they'd have to win 2 more. If the Blue Jays lose tonight, they'd have to win 3 out of their last 4. Because I think the Orioles will win a game when they play the Yankees. If the Orioles win 2, that'd be very good for us. I don't think the White Sox could do anything right. So if the White Sox could steal that 3rd game, that would be very nice. If that's the case, even if we lose tomorrow, we'd still be ahead and we'd have a magic number down to 3 and then hope the Orioles win 1 and win 2 out of 3 against the Rays. But the fact we're starting to hope for other teams to do some for us is bad. We are nearly completely cooked. Swinging strike, high the zone. What are you doing, Vladdy? Goes to penalties right after 90. Okay, so if the aggregate's tied, they'll go to pens. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. 1-1. 38th minute. Player down hurt for O&M. Right now, they would knock out Moca and at least advance top 2 out of this group. Foul ball from Vladdy. Dude, Crochet might throw a damn Maddox if we're not careful. Why am I feeling like the Blue Jays are about to piss away the best chance they've ever had? Or I should say this core's ever had that actually made the playoffs. I'm going to be real. If you put the way things are going, if you put the 2021 Blue Jays versus the 2025 Blue Jays in a 5 to 7 game series, I think the 2021 Blue Jays would beat these Blue Jays. I'm being real. That 2021 team was just amazing, especially once they got back to Toronto. That 2021 Blue Jays team that was something else. That second half was something else. It really was. It really was something else. Francetti is down hurt for O&M, 39th minute. Vladdy struck out. Of course. But seriously, that 2021 Blue Jays team is honestly, I feel like that team could have done something. 40th minute. I'm happy the Braves won the World Series that year. Cross in. Like, I'll be totally honest. Shot. That's past the post. I will be totally honest. If the Atlanta Braves did not win the World Series in 2021 with how the Jays went down, I would have been insufferable. And Vladdy Guerrero just got ejected. What the hell are you doing? I guess he was arguing strikes. What are you doing, man? And Vladdy just got ejected. I mean, you're not hitting anything right now anyway, Mr. $500 million man. But seriously, what? Oh, Lord. You're not hitting anything at all. Vladdy, I don't know if you're trying to hype him up or not, but you're an idiot. Blue. And Vladdy didn't even get ejected for a worthwhile reason. He just got showed by a punk-ass ump. Yeah, that's amazing. Good news is, hell, by the time the second half starts, the way this Jays game is going, I won't even be talking about it by the time we get to the second half of this game. And David Popkins just got ejected as well, the hitting coach, who somehow saved this team. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. Can I be on the Seattle bandwagon when we screw this up? Hey, when we screw this up completely, can I be on the Seattle bandwagon? Because I don't even think the Mets are going to make the World Series, or the playoffs, I should say. Oh, yeah, the Cubs are in the playoffs. That could work. I'm okay with that. Marcus Stroman don't play there anymore, but I'm okay with the Cubs. Brewers, okay, I'm cool with the Brewers as well. Like I've said this before the playoffs, the one team I'd be okay with the Brewers or the Jays losing to in the World Series is the Brewers. Do it for Bob Uecker. Do it for Bob. Yes. In play outs. What did Kirk? Kirk grounded out, didn't he? Alejandro Kirk grounded out. Yep, that's obvious. Okay. Yeah, I guess when it comes down to it, Cubs, Brewers, and if the Blue Jays can't do it, the Cubs, Brewers, or Mariners, I'll be good with that. And if the Mets somehow make the playoffs, the Mets. Even though they're probably worse off than the Jays at this point. Of course, the Jays are in the playoffs, and I will root for them until the wheels fall off or finish falling off because they're already falling off. Padres? Okay, yeah, Padres. I'll bandwagon the Padres as well. I like the Padres. Do it for Tony Gwynn. Yeah, do it for Tony Gwynn. Go. Do it for Tony Gwynn. Lovely. Cal Raleigh better be the MVP. Santander, 1-2, the foul ball. 44th minute. Cal Raleigh better be the AL MVP. If he doesn't win it, that's just bullshit. Aaron Judge does not deserve it compared to Cal Raleigh. No. Like being a catcher, having to squat for half a game and hitting that many home runs. Franzetti saved by Moca. That'd be a goal kick and played forward, 44th minute. Legitimately, though, what Cal Raleigh has done, that's MVP level. Aaron Judge ain't nothing near Cal Raleigh. This year, at least. Like, Aaron Judge is a good hitter. Don't get me wrong. Aaron Judge still had better seasons. Cal Raleigh's damn near hit 60 home runs, and he squats for half a game. So. and in play outs down the middle. Hey, at least Santander hit a pitch down the middle. If it's a ground out, lined out to Alex Bregman. Yeah, it ain't going to happen for us tonight. 45th minute. Let's see. Still 5-1 Yankees. Three minutes of stoppage time. This is funny. A Blue Jays reference here, or a Blue Jays here. Talking about pressing more than the broadcast of a Jurgen Klopp-led Liverpool team. Or just talking about pressing more than a Jurgen Klopp-led Liverpool team. Yeah, I agree. Mariners, like, the Blue Jays dying like they are right now, and we might be wrong in a month. We might be wrong. Maybe Bo Bichette comes back. We still hold on to the division barely. Bo Bichette comes back. We still have a bye. And, yeah, and we somehow still, no problem, and we still win. The only team that I really think has a chance to knock out the Mariners out of the AL was the Blue Jays. I'm not kidding. Like, I don't think the Yankees could beat the Mariners. I don't think the Red Sox can. I don't think, Cleveland can. I don't think anybody but Toronto can. Like, not now. But, I mean, if Toronto starts playing like they did for the rest of the season, if they get back to what they've been doing for most of the year, Toronto could beat Seattle. They can. They can. The only team that ever had a chance in my mind was Toronto. Seriously. Like, I thought the ALCS for the last couple of months was going to be Seattle-Toronto. I really thought so. Or they'd play each other in the playoffs, and it still can be, but right now the Blue Jays don't look like an ALCS team. Or even really beating them in the division series if we fall down that far. Or we'll even meet them in the ALCS at this point. No, not right now. It's either Toronto or Seattle out of the AL. And right now it looks like the Mariners for sure. I don't think the Yankees are that good. I still think they're shit. Unless they just start smacking home runs and just blow people the hell out during October. Like, if their bats are hot, like actually hot, yeah, the Yankees could probably make the World Series again. But I don't think the Mariners pitching would get owned by the Yankees like that. I really don't. Red Sox, I don't think they're that good. I think the Blue Jays are just dead. And Blue Jays, they just walked a guy. And Barrios just walked a guy. Sedan Rafaela. Or not. No, that was a foul ball. And it's halftime. 1-1 at the half. We'll talk about the stats of the half or just talk about how the half went. A 1-1 draw. 1-1 miro tiempo. O&M would advance and clinch their spot in the semifinals as long as they hold this draw. That being said, also would knock out Moca. With that being said, sit tight, be back. We'll talk about the half and we'll move. Sit tight. 1-1, 1-1, miro tiempo. We're back for the stats, or well, just the talk about the half, really. We're back for the talk about the half. It's a 1-1 draw. A 1-1 draw. A 1-1 draw between, and there you go. 7-0 Red Sox. Doesn't even matter now. Yeah, the Blue Jays ain't coming back from that. Yep. Okay, so doesn't even matter anymore. Forget the fact. Doesn't even matter anymore. With that being said, we move. 1-1 draw, O&M. They have a draw. They have the draw that would make them advance to the next round and knock out Moca, knock out everybody else. Well, make sure that everybody else is knocked out. If they win, well, they could still play for first place, even if they drew. But Moca is fighting for their lives, and they've had their moments. The sad part is for Moca, they allowed a crazy goal that really took the wind out of their sails after the goal that they scored and took the lead. They really shouldn't have let that happen, but second half starting soon. I agree. Waiting for the second half to start. Dominican League gaining hella money. First goal for Moca in the competition. Dominican League, they're not doing well either. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, it's not like the last couple of years for Moca. No. O&M's done pretty well this run so far. And let's be real, the goal that Moca scored was a dumb mistake by O&M. Let's be real. The goal that Moca allowed or scored was a dumb goal for O&M to allow. So, should they really have it? At this point, I think I got to stick. It ain't going to be Chelsea. They've had some bad games recently. PSG or Madrid? I'm leaning towards either of those. PSG or Madrid. Madrid actually looks pretty solid right now, I gotta say. Xabi Alonso's starting to figure it out for him, so. Mocha washed. Yeah, sounds like it. '46 minute, Bayern Munich, Liverpool. I'd give a shout out to. Honestly, there's a problem when your head coach, your manager, I should say, there's a problem when your manager starts saying you're egotistical, and we can't have that. Yamal's starting to huff his own hype. And it's getting to his head. And if your coach is already saying to you the way we play, we don't need no big egos, and our best player has a big ego, needs to check it at the door. I don't think that's helpful. I really don't. And their defense is still questionable. So with those two things, no. Second half is on. Yep. Goal kick for O&M, 47th minute. Querétaro's beating Cruz Azul. Yeah, that's not a good look for a team who's supposed to play a CONMEBOL team that might still be River Plate. Maybe I am a jinx. I said, they probably don't have a chance to beat a Palmeiras. A week later, they might win on penalties, playing forward, or win outright. '48th minute. '48th minute. Can't believe you're not doing Miami live. Caribbean Cup matters more. And Central American Cup does too. I choose what I want to do. It's a common name, one. Second of all, was it the monster truck guy? Or I don't think the basketball player has a channel. It's a common name. I know Cruz Azul's losing, I know. Maybe you should have a kayfabe name. No, I'm not doing it. '50th minute. '50th minute, 1-1. Free kick for O&M. Pachuca under Jimmy Lozano's falling off like a train. Well, we saw that happening during the Club World Cup. That's not new. Like, that's not new. That's not new. If Miami win, they're third. Yeah, they have a lot of games in hand. That's the helpful thing about all the stuff they've been doing. It gives them a lot of games in hand. Gives them a lot of games in hand to deal with. So that's the good news. Well, 51st minute. Messi scored 2-0. Hmm. 52nd minute. Fifty-third minute or 52nd minute. The only way, let me tell you honest, the only way I would wear a bandana is if I was on Survivor. Well, true. Well, yeah, no, if they let me wear the hat, that might just be a Boston Rob thing. They might tell me, no, you can't wear a hat. That's Boston Rob's thing. Then I would wear the buff as a bandana, but that's the only way, is if I was on Survivor. That's the only way. That's the only way. No. Canadian Championship Final. Playing forward. The Vancouver Derby. Ball crossed in. He really should have scored that, but okay. Goes down. No penalty. Yeah, I think we've all been saying that for a long time, that Miami needs defenders. That's been their main problem for the whole time Messi's been there. Arguably, the best defensive team they probably had was the one that won the Leagues Cup. Again, why you trade Kamal Miller? That made no sense, but what do I know? Sergei Kritsov, he wasn't so bad compared to what they have now. It's like they honestly, when Messi got there, that was probably the best defense he had with Miami. They've honestly made it worse. They've honestly made it worse besides Noah Allen. He's the only one who's gotten better, but he was on the team from the time Messi got there. He's just gotten better, which, you know, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Okay. 55th minute. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Playing forward, 56th minute. Damn. And there's a goal for Moca. They take the lead once again. Moca, 1-2, 1-2. Oh my, they took a shot, top of the box. They found a way. They have the lead once again. Oh. Ascona, the captain. Gustavo Ascona. Gustavo Ascona scores. Top bins. Top bins. Top bins. One to 2. Gustavo Ascona scores 1-2. Fifty-seventh minute. Playing forward, can O&M tie this game back up? I like that energy. Nice. You know, my only question is this. Why are there some things that you could do at 18 and some things that you can only do when you're 21? You could drive a car, well, even younger, but you can join the military at 18. You can vote at 18. So they could draft you into a war and you can't even drink a sip of alcohol. Now, I'm not an alcohol drinker, but, oh, by the way, in Canada, their drinking age is 19 and 18 in Quebec. So if I was, everything would be the same. If you could go to war and vote, you should be able to drink and smoke. It makes no sense to me to have that be later, especially if Canada is at least closer, right? So. And Quebec is just, yeah, so, you know. It doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, if you could get shot with a bullet by some jackass on the other side of a battle line and possibly die, you could drink some alcohol and smoke. Now, I wouldn't, but, 3-0 Miami. Imagine Moca make the semifinals. I mean, seriously, though. Like, you could die in a war at 18, but you can't drink. You can't smoke. Let's be honest. I would think, even if you can get lung cancer from smoking, you still have a less dangerous thing to your body than going to war. And you could go to war first. Okay. You can give yourself cirrhosis of the liver, but you could go to war first and die in a war. I would rather have cirrhosis than die in a war. At least if they catch it early enough, you could maybe at least get a liver transplant if they caught the cirrhosis early enough. Cancer, if they caught it early enough, lung cancer from smoking, you could still survive. War, well, especially if you're a freaking infantryman, yeah, that's not going to go well. Well, he asked about president. Canada, their drinking age is 19. Quebec is 18. So they're a lot more closer to at least making sense. I think Quebec's totally right, though. But he asked president, though. He said, if I was president. It's your decision, though. See, here's the thing. I wouldn't smoke, or I don't smoke. I don't drink, except for some Moscato on New Year's Eve. I don't, but it's your decision to do what you want. If you want to smoke, go right ahead. It's your decision. It's what libertarianism's supposed to be. If you want to smoke, go ahead. Go ahead. It's your decision. So, is it unhealthy? Yes. But if you want to make that decision to do it, why not? It's your decision. Just because I don't want to smoke or drink doesn't mean I want to start prohibition all over again. Just because I don't smoke and I don't drink doesn't mean I want to start prohibition all over again. That's irrational. That's absolutely irrational. It's asinine, really. For me, I just don't think, I think him going to MLS is what hurt him. I think MLS saw him as a marketing chip. I do believe back then, him going to Europe would have been better for him. If he went straight to Europe and went to a championship team or a Prem team, he probably would have done better. But at the time, in 2004, yeah, MLS was trash. Hell, if he played in Mexico, he'd probably be better off at the time. Now, that's why part of it, when they talk about a kid like Kevin Sullivan, I have less worry for him because he's already going to Man City a couple of years from now. But MLS is actually good. And he's also playing for Philadelphia, which is a very good team. So Freddie Adu was playing for DC when they started to backslide first. Second of all, he played in MLS when it was arguably just a proto league and really crap. Pre-Beckham. So I think it was the situation, the fact that he played for an MLS at the time in MLS where it was a waste of time, a complete and utter waste of time, especially for somebody as talented and had the potential he did. I don't think it helped him grow at all. I don't think it helped him to hit his potential. He was used for marketing because he was had such a high ceiling as a young phenom. And MLS was like, well, of course, we're going to, of course, use him for marketing because no Beckham yet, by the way. They knew what they were doing. If he did actually succeed, he would have succeeded in spite of the level of the league at the time. He needed to be developed, and the league wasn't going to do that, especially putting him with the freaking DC United at the time. He needed to go to a good team as well. If he went to the Galaxy, things might have been different. I don't think totally, but maybe he would have at least developed a little bit before he went to Europe. But I don't think it's the fact. I think it's the fact the league just wasn't ready to be developing for a guy like Freddie. And he needed to be developed. Just because you have raw talent and a high ceiling does not mean you're going to get there. Doesn't mean so. So I don't think about too soon, but I don't think about too soon. I think he should have went to Europe. Yep. Quebec Supra. 67th minute. A Montreal area club. They finally, I'm glad. I'm glad. I really am. Because let's be honest. Quebec needed a CPL club. It's taken way too long. The only thing that sucks about it is they were like, oh, we might allow CS Saint Laurent to come up. Nope. No. Brand new club. Oh, there it is. 68th minute. Exactly. So it's interesting. FC Supra. Okay. Jimenez on for Francisco. Moca versus Sabal semifinal. I don't know if, they'd have to play second place in Group A. Sabal. They're very likely going to win the group. If Moca wins their 2 games and O&M gets owned by Mount Pleasant and Moca wins good enough to flip the goal differential and finish second, that's not going to be pretty. Moca versus Sabal will not be pretty. I don't think so. O&M selling. Well, I mean, all they have, just don't get your ass kicked. I didn't say you did either. I'm just saying, what I was saying is it healthy? No, it's not healthy, but the choice, I was saying that is a catch-all. If you make the choice to smoke, and you legally can, whether that be cigars, cigarettes, weed, and weed's not as unhealthy as tobacco, but that's your choice. Make that choice. If you make the choice to drink and you legally can drink, that's your choice. I don't smoke either. I don't drink. My choice is I don't. I didn't say what your choice is. I'm saying mostly you, I said, if somebody makes that choice, that's their choice to bear. That's their cross to bear. And if they smoke and get cancer when they're 60 or 65, that's your cross to bear. I hate to hear it, but you made that choice. It's sad, but you made the choice that led to it. I feel sorry for you that you have it, but you also made the choice that led to it. And you knew that. So I feel sorry for you that you have, like, to a person who has to go through it, I feel sorry for them. But again, yeah, I would agree with that. But how much, though? By how much, though? "72 minutes in. Now their goal differential is 3. Moca's is -3. Castillo's on for Cuello. So what that means is if Moca beats Robin Hood by 3, that is a 0 goal differential. That would be 5 goals for at the very least. And yeah. O&M, if they lose by 3 to Mount Pleasant, that would be a 0 goal differential with 6 goals for, 6 goals against. Now, O&M would still advance on the goal for tiebreaker. So Moca needs 1 more goal than O&M. If O&M loses by 3, Moca's got to win by 4. So here's what it is. When it comes to the O&M Moca situation, if Moca holds on to this win, they probably need to score 1 more goal in this game, or that would make a lot of things easier. Or O&M just needs to have a -1 goal differential when Moca has a 0. Ball crossed in. Letting in that chip did not go well for Moca, because if they did, they'd be in a much better spot right now. Would be a what? 2 versus a -2. That's a little bit more doable. I won't lie. Or Mount Pleasant could just completely whip O&M's ass. If they're equal on goal differential, O&M would advance no matter what. If Moca wins both their next 2, winning this and then winning next week. If they win both, they'll both be on 6 points. If O&M has the same goal differential as Moca, O&M would advance on goals for. Then you got to look at the defenses. Ooh. No penalty. 74th minute. (12-4) Red Sox. (75th minute). I mean, halftime interviews, I think there's a lot of leagues that already do them. I don't totally have a problem. This is coming from a North American point of view with sports that do halftime interviews and all that, but I have no problem with it, really. The MLS already does them, especially during the playoffs or Leagues Cup. They already do them. NFL does them. Hell, they do post-quarter interviews with the coaches. Well, at least college. Well, mostly college that does that. But either way, I'm used to in-game interviews, whether that be a post-quarter, post-half, halftime, post-quarter interview. So I don't totally see the problem. Like, but that's a culture shock, sort of, I guess. And I understand that, but I grew up watching NFL players get interviewed in the locker room at the half, or the coach, or college games where the coach gets interviewed after a quarter before the next quarter starts. Or baseball where, well, you can't really, well, they do mic up players during the game, which is just stupid. That is just stupid. Really. Frankly, that's just Palmeiras goal. There we go. Save. Palmeiras goal, they have the lead. '77th minute, 1-2. Uno, dos. '78th minute. 1-2. Vitor Roque. Corner. 78th minute. The ref POV camera, not in the Prem. Like, the only way that I'm fine with it is like an all-star game. You know? Like, summer series, I guess, when it comes to the Prem. Or something like that. Like a game that doesn't count, that doesn't really matter. Or even if it did count, it's still an all-star game. You know? Something like that. Actual competition, I don't, like, if they're getting POV'd for like a freaking documentary or something, fine. But just to use it as maybe they'll use it. I don't really, no. It's really just an all-star game thing, in my opinion. If it gave you a better angle of something, I guess, sure. But when it comes to football refs, that's not really what that does, so to speak. Give you a better angle of something. Like umpire cam, home plate umpire cam when it comes to baseball. Okay, that'll give you a better angle of a strike zone. What the framing looks like. That's fine. Even during a actual baseball game. That's different, though. I think the only one I'm kind of okay with is umpire cam for like the home plate umpire. That's the only one I'm really okay with, because that gives you a look at what the catcher and the batter is seeing. I'm fine with that because a umpire cam, home plate umpire cam, now that's what I'm talking about. That gives a different view to the game. And that gives you like, hey, that might have been a ball. Like, it's different looking at the strike zone overlay on the screen than actually looking at it from a umpire's point of view. Like, you could say, well, that looked like a ball. And it's like just on the edge of the strike zone overlay. They give you the umpire cam, and it's like, no, that did catch the edge of the plate. And also there was some good framing there. You know, like, so, you know, like, if they're going to do a referee POV cam for a game that matters, it should be something where it gives you a different angle of things, like looking at the different angle of things. A umpire cam in baseball does that. A referee POV cam in football really doesn't. So that's my line. That's my line. I don't think a college football referee cam really would either. Or a gridiron. I don't. So I don't want that there. Basketball, they're moving with the play. That doesn't really do anything. I think baseball's unique with the way the sport is played. And hockey referees, they skate with the play. I think the reason why umpire cam works is because baseball, for more or less, is a stationary game. Yes, the outfielders have to run. Yes, the infielders have to run when they field a ball. But the batter has to run when he hits the ball. The pitcher throws. But the game is very structured. You know, that's why that works. The catcher is behind the plate. The ball is pitched towards the plate, whether they miss it or not. The umpire is behind the catcher. The batter's in the box. Like, baseball is such a more, I think it only works because baseball is such a segmented, structured game. It is, compared to the other sports, compared to football, gridiron football, association football, gridiron football, basketball, hockey. Baseball is very, very, and cricket, I guess, could work the same way because cricket is a very similarly formulated sport to baseball. Similarly wide and similarly structured. Not with the base paths or anything, but it's a very, you got what you got. Like, the movement isn't really. Like, cricket's kind of like rugby. I think baseball, there were things in baseball that got copied from cricket, just like gridiron got copied from rugby. And then it got Americanized. I think baseball, cricket was first, yes. Then Abner Doubleday started baseball, is the story. But yeah, I do believe cricket, there were things from cricket that came into baseball, just like rugby sort of morphed into American football and Canadian football. And there's a lot more. And to be clear, it's a lot. It's not so unobvious when you watch American football. Oh, well, shit, that's true. Watch a CFL game. Watch a CFL game before the season's over. Okay, because they're changing the rules, which is dumb. But a lot of the CFL's rules, they had less changes to their rule set compared to rugby. It is still more like American football, but gridiron football, Canadian football. But there's a lot more rugby-like tendencies to Canadian football, at least until they change the rules and shorten the field and put the goalposts on the end zone, at the end of the end zone instead on the goal line, and get rid of the rouge, or at least the missed field goal rouge, because it's just sailing past the post instead of, you know, I hate what they're doing, the CFL. I don't know why they're changing the rules. I don't. The rouge should still be there. Now, yes, the rouge is still there. If you do not run the ball out of the end zone on a return, whether that be a punt or a kickoff, the rouge is still there. If the ball does not come out of the end zone during a kickoff or punt, the rouge is still there, but the missed field goal rouge is not. So there still are single point rouges during CFL games, which they kept some of it because they knew they had to, but okay, fine. It's a lot harder to not keep the ball in the end zone with a regular kickoff with a smaller end zone. Now, it's still a 15-yard end zone instead of a 10 as the NFL. So, you know. Yes, it is. I don't like the new CFL rules. I think they're wrong. I think trying to be more like American football, at least it's still 3 downs. At least they still have the motion to the line. At least, you know, all that. But having an NFL-sized field and putting the goalposts on the end line, okay. Honestly, I hope they treat them better than the WWE treats theirs. Because the WWE Women's Tag Titles is a stupid thing. 87th minute. That's a waste of time. So do with that what you will. But do with that what you will. Shot! Oh, O&M can't take the shot. They could have tied the game right there. O&M ties the game, they'll advance. No worries about next week being a total bottle job. Don't get your hopes up. '88th minute. Well, to be fair, the one thing Tony Khan knows how to book is a women's division compared to WWE. I'll give him that. Well, at least he knew before Sasha Banks came in and ruined everything, because she's a self-mark. She wants to run the asylum either way. Playing forward. I'm surprised Sasha ain't AEW Women's Champion yet, to be real. I'm surprised. So at least Tony ain't that dumb, but that's a low bar. That's a low bar. '89th minute. O&M has to get a result next week to advance now if things hold this way. And they can still advance as long as they don't totally choke and Moca doesn't totally beat the hell out of Robin Hood, but those both have to happen. Shot. Cleared away. '89th minute. Oh, 7-1 Boston. My bad. That was the hits. Either way, it doesn't matter. '89th minute. 7 minutes of stoppage time. Really? Second minute. $92 minutes. Because Miami has actual stars, and when they want to play, they can. The bad thing about Miami is when they want to play like that, they can. When they don't, they can't. And I think they know the pressure's on them. And when the pressure's on them the most, they perform. So. As things stand, I'm probably covering the whole damn thing from a TV, watching it on TV. Yeah, we'll just go with that. From watching it on TV. As it stands. $93rd minute. Well, good for him. I'm happy for him. $94th minute. Shot blocked away. $94th minute, 1-2, O&M losing. Shot save. What's with teams wearing blue and white choking? What's with that? Like, what's with that? I don't know what it is. They must be hot right now, you know? Like, what's with teams wearing blue and white choking so bad right now from good positions? What is it with that? I don't know. It must be hot right now. It must be very hot right now to do that. Angeles gets a yellow card, 95th minute. Daniel, I said blue and white wearing teams. I didn't say blue and orange. I was taking a shot at the Blue Jays. Well, no, they wear blue and orange as well. So, no, that was Daniel. That was a Blue Jays joke. I'm pissed at the Blue Jays. You should know that's a Blue Jays joke. Oh, yeah, you're a Mets fan. Well, you still, yeah, either way. That was a Blue Jays joke. I'm pissed at the Jays. That was the joke. That was the joke. One more minute to go, stoppage time, and then I'll jump off and make the stream for the next game, and we'll be on. Maybe a little bit late. It might take 2 or 3 minutes, I won't lie, into the game. That's life. But we will have a review tonight, no matter what. Don't worry. 30 seconds. Spania versus Amador, yes. All right. Corner. If Moca scores or O&M scores off this corner, they eliminate Moca and they're going to advance. Caught, and that'll do it. That should do it. Full time. 1-2, 1-2. Moca are still alive. And O&M might just choke as bad as the Toronto Blue Jays. Could be worse. With that being said, if you like this stream, like and share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I'll see you in a couple of minutes for the live stream for Real España versus Plaza Amador. We'll be back very soon. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. See ya.